welcome everybody to the Onward VR Master League Season 11, Week 1. My name is NightFiree with 2 E's, and I am joining you for the first cast of many of in my opinion, pretty dang exciting season. A ton of changes to the standard meta that we're so used to, or at least have gotten used to over the course of Season 10, and some new maps finally being included in League play, something that we haven't seen in 11 seasons of Onward. I mean, sure, new maps brought in by the Onward team, but this time we have custom maps built by the community, handcrafted from some of the most veteran Onward players, and I'm really excited to be able to see how some of these teams square off on those maps. If you were paying close attention, you will notice that that first map of the day certainly is not going to be a new one, something that we're all very familiar with. It is going to be Downfall, but before we get into the nitty-gritty, we gotta look at the teams and what we have. It is R3SIN Mafia versus VR Reapers, two teams that, well, you know, I guess a lot of these teams have TBD MMR. We're fresh into the season. They got to play through their initial games, but you know, R3SIN Mafia been around since Season 10. I think the same has been true for VR Reapers. When in Season 10 they were created is the question, but either way they have played a few games before, and I'm very excited to see how this squad dukes out. I don't know what the real expected skill range should be of today. I am just desperate to get into some Onward and cast some games, and this is one of the first games that has popped up that's available on my schedule. So yeah, R3SIN Mafia versus VR Reapers. Either way, what I do expect to see is some pretty good play. I know both of these teams pretty hyped up about the season start. A lot of new teams really coming in strong and prepared. You know, they have subs in their rosters ready to go. They have strategies already planned out, and they haven't even played a single game of regular season Onward. So with such a long gap between Season 10 and 11, the surge on the Quest player base and just the player base in general, we've seen a lot of new squads and new faces come into play here, which is exciting to see. For me, as a longtime veteran of the league, I love to see new faces and new talent, just because I want to see what new strats are out there. I want to see what new spots get brought to the table, because almost every time I tune into a team that's fresh to the league, they're bringing something new to the table. Whether it works at a higher level, of course, is the question, but either way, this should be an exciting matchup to tune into, and this is one of many streams that will be coming your way. Right now, we have several new casters in the shadows, if you will, learning and preparing for their first foray into the VR Master League, and so you'll be seeing a lot of these newer teams in particular getting broadcast by our new casters. I'll of course be trying to hop on to some of those standard high tier matchups that you'd expect. I think we do have one on Saturday, I want to say, that should be pretty juicy. Let me take a look at the schedule. You can head on over to vrmasterleague.com/onward if you want to figure out who's getting cast where. Oh shoot, my thing just updated and bugged. Yes, Raptors versus Ember. That one you're going to want to catch. That is Saturday at 6 p.m. PDT. That one is going to be extremely hyped. I'm really looking forward to that. It should be an exciting bout, if you will. You know, I don't know what that Raptors squad's going to bring, but they're going up against a seasoned team. And if you're wondering where's the action, why haven't we hopped into Downfall, we are still waiting on the 5th of VR Reapers. They have a few minutes still left before they have to be concerned about getting in a reservist, but hopefully they'll get that 5th connected and in lobby, and we can get underway into our first matchup. We do have some time to go over the pick bands. Coming in from R3SIN Mafia, we have a Sand ban, and over on VR Reapers we have Quarantine getting banned out. So Admittedly, a map I would like to see played, Sand getting crossed off, and personally one of my favorites, Quarantine, also getting taken off of the table. But I mean, hey, it's important to revisit and look at exactly what even the map pool is. I had the list up in front of me just a moment ago. I'm sure I can find it again. But it is a mix, which is what I like. It's a mix of maps that teams are already used to, and you know, like Downfall, like Quarantine, teams that maps that teams have played for years. But then there's also these new ones like Sand, USS Quest, another one on there that I know is in that map pool. And what I love to see is this rotating map pool. I'm not sure what the holdup is here, but hopefully we can get it solved. We may have to cut to a brief intermission. I'd hate to do it because I'd love to just get right into the action. Anyway, they may very well be down a player here, and so I'd hate to do it, but the first cast of, at least for me, could be a 4v5, which is pretty much the last thing I'd love to hop into, but we'll see. Maybe this team can find a reservist in time. Maybe they can figure out their issue. One of the risks of, I suppose, hopping into a cast of unseasoned players. But hopefully we can solve the lobby issue and we'll get back into the cast. For now, I am going to cut to an intermission while I try and help solve the tech issues. And until then, hang out and patiently wait for the action. Hopefully it comes. Thank you all for patiently waiting. I know it's a heck of a way to tease you all for the start of, well, not the start, the second cast, I suppose, of the season. Radarhead got ahead of me and managed to squeeze in a cast on VRML 3. But either way, we are here and the action has begun for map number 1, round number 1 on Downfall. It is Resin Mafia versus VR Reapers. VR Reapers kicking it off on the defensive end. They've got all 5 in lobby, everything sorted. No issues whatsoever, I can tell you. Resin Mafia also already and locked and loaded up in the north end of things.
At a sniper house, there is one at sniper house.
Early identification on that north rotation from Dubsham. Turn on lasers. I know everybody loves that. Craft pushing up through the middle, and let's take a little bit of inventory on where this Resin Mafia offense is. Vale up on top, looking for a long-range shot. He has the red dot, so not necessarily able to identify anything too specific in these windows, but still has an angle here. Amic also down low. He has that sniper. He has the range and is a potential threat. Obviously easy to identify here if anyone's looking, and already some suppressive fire coming towards his direction. He's also taken shots, though, down into that objective building while the rest of his team slowly tries to work up through the middle. Dubsham getting pinned at red truck. Shots ringing in from Park IWM.
I see someone near Center Cathedral, kind of like down in the hills near North Hotel.
A little receptive fire coming in from Dubsham. Well aware of that position and tosses out the smokes. One thing I didn't have time to talk about was the changes in the meta. There are a few of them. Smokes in play. C4 in play. Shields no longer an option. The first kill comes in. Not Red finds one. Shots ringing in from Vale. Long range, not finding much percentage. Another kill comes in from Not Red. He's found 2 up here on the north as they tried to rotate in. The suppressive fire was coming down to this window, but Not Red still had that angle. Somehow found a couple of kills there in through the, oh, there it seems to be, was that shot in through the window. Suppressive fire rings out. Vale still hunting for the killer of his 2 former alive teammates, now dead. Amic also looking for those sniper shots, and the final really important meta change is that we are on a 6-minute timer. So an additional minute over what was 5 in Season 10. And so now is 6 minutes. They have a little bit of time to find the snipes. Not Red does go down. Scooped up by the likes of Amic. Vale throwing some fire down range. Picked up in that window. Wirt can't get the res either. A full confirmed kill, maybe a headshot onto him as he tried to rotate and adjust his position. Wirt certainly not willing to peek out through that window anymore, and they're going into a bit of a tighter objective kill box hold here, which will work. 3 minutes still, of course, for the team to rotate out of their north hotel, but as long as they stay right here, they're going to force the rotation of Resin Mafia down into the objective. Amick trying to find those sniper shots.
Fucking back the hotel, man. Fuck. Just look. No time left. No time.
And yeah, as I was addressing that time, Amick seems to be aware that with 2:30 left, they have to start their rotation. They have to start moving here, and it's going to take a big snipe to do this safely. Fortunate enough that he's able to get all the way down here into the pit undetected. He very well could end up getting the swing he needs all the way over down into that far west side of the map. Dubsham holding down the center, but really not holding down much of anybody here. He has to eventually peek this corner to get a good ID of anyone that's holding defensive angles. Certainly a risky peek to make, considering he has a teammate lying dead at that exact corner. And again, another laser dialed in. Shots coming in just over the head from MTV. Those just nearly miss. Vale has also managed to rotate down with Amick to the east side, taking residence up in the tower. Took a few shots downrange towards Dante. Amick getting suppressed by Dante, who finds the kill from the corner of the wall. Very well could be ready to pick up another one, because gonna have to be concerned about Vel, who is down over there. Still Dubsham also in the corner. Got to be concerned about MTV bruh in the White House. As soon as he peeks out through that window, could be bad news for Dubsham. But MTV's actually not looking out through that window anymore, so Dubsham should be safe on the rotation up through the center. .45 seconds left, and do or die for Resin Mafia. They have to start crashing. Even with an additional minute, they haven't been able to get up into the positions they need, and as shots do just skip over Dante's head, Vale is losing time. Park throwing out some suppressive fire from the window, not even sure where Vale is. Just throwing rounds downrange. Dubshan maybe himself notable. Dante able to find the kill onto Dubsham, swings out from that position, does find a nice angle. Here comes the push in up through the center. Dubsham just misses the likes of Vale, and Vale, yeah, just not aware of the time. The 30-second timer should have given him that indication that he has to push, and now with 3 seconds left, he's gonna run out. The smoke doesn't do a whole lot, and VR Reapers take a solid defensive round one. Nothing too out of the ordinary for the first round of the day. Both teams sort of shaking off maybe some cobwebs and maybe the nerves. The first round finished there, and now it's going to be Resin Mafia's turn to go on the defense. VR Reaper's doing a nice job of shaping that kill box around the objective and not risking peeking. You know, they certainly could have found a couple more deaths to the hands of Amick with that sniper if they had been peeking out of windows. And I think as soon as that first kill rang in, nobody peeked outside of the angles that they were already holding. So really disciplined defense from VR Reapers to get that first point and to hold like they did on that defense. Really just a good counter to the strategy of Resin Mafia, which was to look for picks and rotations, which just never came in. We'll see if Resin Mafia then end up rotating on defense, because typically how you attack is you attack against your own defensive strategies, and so we'll see if we do see some rotations coming in from Resin Mafia when they get to that Volk end or not. But if you're unfamiliar with the concept of Onward, it's a 5v5 military simulator. Easiest way to explain it is a search and destroy objective. First team to die loses, or the Marsoc team, the offensive team, can capture the objective and secure 2 points in that round. So right now, VR Reapers managed to defend the objective and kill the opponent. They've gained a point. Switch sides on that same objective. So Resin Mafia now have to defend back down into that south side of the map. And VR Reapers get a chance at spawning into several different locations based off of the where the objective is currently at. So they get actually the same spawn that Resin Mafia got, and we'll see how VR Reapers attack this objective with that mirror spawn.
penetration.
A couple of the Resin Mafia team, also new additions to the casting squad. Craftomic and Dubsham on there. And Kraft going for a bit of an aggressive defensive rotation. He's going to push up using the wall for cover. Determined that it's that north objective. You heard the call come in, and he gets up here, drops a C4 in the corner, and a lot of suppressive fire on the opposite end of the map coming in from Wirt and Dante. And they need it because otherwise they can't push out from this hill. Amick finds one. Confirms it as well, and that sniper doing work here on the hilltop. The bolt action. Managing to secure one kill so far. MTB not going to be able to get an angle, and Dante's stuck behind his smoke for now as he does try to work his way out of that. Shots just zipping over Amick's head. Dante has to be careful about how he rotates. Oh, and there it is. He finds the shot. Dante confirming Amick on this hilltop. This is going to open up a lot of options for the likes of this team. And as I say that, Craftomic, with that advanced defensive position, he's managed to work himself up onto the second floor and is covering the middle rotation. Still, though, Dante has an open angle of attack now from the south. It's an opportunity for him to capitalize on, and we'll see if he can do it. Going to take a bit of time to rotate. First opponent will be Vale, who is actually holding this corner and checking this side. The question is he going to be looking at the right time? And is Dante going to be spotted as he peeks up? He does. Finds the kill. That's his second on the round. Test my technical capabilities and see if my replays are working. They are. Imagine that. Dante. The second kill there. And again, he's taking command of this opportunity that he has to rotate over here in the far south side of the map and push up from this ravine. If he coordinates well with his team, he can pinch on this defense and really be a good threat. Dubsham may end up poking his hindquarters out from a window if he's not careful, and Dante on the hunt for any sort of angle. Nearly finds one there on Framed. He does. Finds the kill. Secures it. Framed goes down 3 on the round for Dante here. He's trying to lock this one in for his squad. We're going to have to bounce around just a little bit between Craftomic, as he is up next on the potential kill list. Not Red getting danger close here.
8277.
Meanwhile, again, you have the South Ravine push. Dante getting that code memorized, maybe considering an attack opportunity, but again, can he sync it up with his team and honestly avoid the potential miscommunication that's here? You know, it really does take a well-oiled machine to make sure that you know where your teammates are at all times, and Not Red was looking over to that hilltop there, so potentially they'll get mixed up in a team kill. Park finds one. Dubsham pushing up, looking for the final kill. Craftomic able to defend. It's the kill on that quick push-up. Now has to hold. Does he also recognize that he's the last one alive? This is good game sense. What a really a key element in playing Onward at a high level. He's heard shots there. Finds the second. A good kill, but the final is Dante locking in his 4th kill on the round and ultimately securing VR Reapers an offensive push and a 2-0 lead. A real solid job there, again, from the VR Reapers squad. Dante in particular doing an excellent job rotating in from that South Ravine and, like I said, capitalizing on the opportunity that he secured, managing to kill that defensive hold from the likes of Amick and pushing away that sniping advantage that Amick had there on that berm. A good bounce back from losing one of his teammates, and I mean, ultimately, an impressive bit of gameplay there, which is what I love to see when I tune into some VRML action. It's almost guaranteed to see, really, at this point. VRML, man, even the new teams coming in are very impressive in terms of skill and dedication. I love to see all of the interaction on Twitter, social media. And if you want to get involved, get involved. I mean, there's tons of teams that are making social media accounts for their team specifically, and then obviously players as well for them for their individual for themselves. And it's kind of been a cool way for me to keep in touch with what all these different teams are doing and how they're trying to grow their brands. And it's fun. I love to see it. Obviously, we want to sort of help that as well. So with the help of the creators team, you should see some interviews starting to come in on the Onward VRML YouTube channel. You should see those also presented here on stream during intermissions and the pre-shows. There's going to be a lot of new content coming in from the creators team that has been continuously growing over the course of the last few weeks. Working on highlight reels, VRML advertisements that you can put up on your own channels, all kinds of really good stuff that you're going to want to stay tuned for. Also, obviously, we got action here in front of us. Round 3 underway as we get into VR Reapers on the defense yet again. R3SIN Mafia trying to get on the board here with a new objective and on the offense. Early shots ringing in from Amic. That is going to give away their spawn. And now all bets are off as Frame, Craft, everyone throws down suppressive fire here, and nobody goes down from VR Reapers. The cross coming in here from Dub. He's able to suppress those windows. Self over here. Craft tries to dive out up to the front wall and does make it. Dante finds Framed peeking the window. And Craft has a tough bounce back if he wants to get that res.
He's just full body in front of it right now.
Craft trying to peek through the crack in the wall there to find the angle into the window onto Dante. Can't quite get it. There he finds an angle around the corner. Can't find the shots. Dante reciprocating, but also does not secure that. And comms are coming in from Framed. He's communicating to Craft exactly the positioning of Dante over here on this other side. Dante is trying to drop out and rotate around up to the middle. This could be a good rotation if he gets here. Gonna have to compete against, well, was gonna have to compete against the likes of Dubshan. Were able to find that kill though. Now has to also be concerned about that ravine shots that are coming in from Vale, but Vale not aware of that far position over there in the window. He's looking over towards Dante, trying to help Craft. Craft is trying to drop back and get this res. I think he'll get it. Amic also coming down from the hill. Yeah. Oh no, and Craft, as he pushed up, could have stayed maybe held up on that wall position, kept the pressure onto Dante, but does drop back, rotates here, tries to find the shots onto the window defender, can't get it, and uses the smoke, which again are re-enabled in Season 11, and crosses that all difficult gap to cross. We've seen teams adapt and figure out ways to cross it, like Dubshan demonstrating with suppressive fire, but the smokes used to be the tried and true, and certainly do work well. Craft, though, going into a bit of a hornet's nest to go up to get to Dubshan.
There's a guy in the
Amic has pushed up with the sniper. He's on the hunt. 3 minutes left on the clock, and they have a lot of time to work with. Craft does spot wet there, but can't get the shots off. Can't find that kill. Dubshan, fortunate that he hasn't been confirmed yet, really. And a risky rotation here from Craft as Dante does have an angle. Craft ducks behind the one slice of wall that he has available, goes prone, and stays just barely alive.
Dub, are you close to bleeding out?
Has been down a while. They do need to push up and get him, and it almost seems like Dubsham's being used as bait with the way that Not Red and Wirt are holding their angles. Oh, and Not Red does spot Craft there on the rotation. I don't think he can actually see Dubsham's body, so Wirt's going to try and smoke out the corner. Excuse me, Kraft's going to smoke out the corner to deny Wirt vision. He does get picked up. Amick snipes him over. Dubsham dies out just as Kraft gets to pick him up, and we're into a 4v3. Excuse me, 4v4. Take a look at the defense. Not Red holding up in the window. MTB is pushed up. Dante finds the rotation around the backside from Frame. That's a huge pickup. Now he can hold objective and defend from the rest of the offense. MTB may also be a key player here as Kraft starts to push in. Nice pickup. Now MTB can get a little bit extra peaky if he decides so. Amick tries to swing around the outside in the south. He takes shots from the silent sniper of Not Red, who is still holding out the window.
No clue. He just went in the east side entrance.
MTB. No, actually, shots coming in from Dante. Those don't find purchase, but MTB is here and waiting. Just almost has the angle onto Vale. Can't quite get it, though. Vale is saying just duck down, trying to get the shots off onto Not Red, and now the defensive VR Reapers gets a little bit tighter around objective. That kill box locking in around that OBJ 30-second timer should be ticking off for the likes of this Resin Mafia team. Amick finds one. MTB trying to get the shots off. He can't quite land those. That flash very well could have flashed out Vale and denied what could be a push. Meanwhile, Amick is going to swing around. There's a potential cap opportunity. He's found Not Red. 10 seconds left. Can he crash in and punch in the code in time? Nobody's holding objective. 5 seconds on the clock, and Vale actually secures the final kill. And I think that's for the best as Resin do finally get on the board. What was looking like maybe a last-ditch cap would have, well, that would have been a heck of a cap. Either way, Resin Mafia does keep this a little bit close at the very least, and does get bounce back nicely with an offensive win, playing it patiently down to the last minute, and some huge kills coming in from Amick with the sniper. You'll love to see it with that 12 times. 5 and 2 right now on the kill feed. Dante obviously still playing well, 7 and 1, and so far. Fun series to tune into. Glad we got all the tech difficulties sorted out, because this is certainly two teams thirsty for that first win of the season, duking it out, and I'm having a good time tuning in so far. Take a quick look at the chat, see how everyone's doing. We got a nice group of folk hanging out. I appreciate everyone that is tuning in and watching the stream. All your support, all the subs, followers, all that comes back and helps grow the community. You know, if you're new here, please hit the follow button. We do tons of streams on the Onward VRML. I'm not the only caster. There's a whole team of casters that come together to produce content for you guys, to produce live content nonetheless at a high quality rate. So, you know, if you want to be watching Onward and watching a lot of comp Onward, this is the place that you're going to want to be following. Also follow VRML 2 and 3. Those are our additional channels, our spillover channels. Sometimes we have multiple games live at the same time. So I really do appreciate everyone that is tuning in. If you are new, please do hit that follow button. Subscriptions also do end up coming back and supporting the casting broadcast team. So we really do appreciate those as well. If you have that Amazon Prime, feel free to drop it here. Otherwise, we have another round of high octane action to get into. Resin Mafia trying to bounce back from a tough 2-0 start, or 0-2 start, however you want to look at it, and now going on the defensive, try and tie things up. Again, mirrored spawns, so VR Reaper's getting that South Ravine spawn point. Kraft able to drop in, tuck in, everyone on defense. Well, not everyone, as Park scoops up one, trying to get aggressive on the south. That South Ravine spawn point utilized nicely, and Resin Mafia down one early. A silent shot not even heard from across the map, and so it's going to take a aware team to properly defend from that. Shots coming in there towards Wirt.
I don't know the exact shot.
Does try and check. MTB also trying to get a gander, and that laser just barely missing. And Amick again with the sniper, and you can see him taking his time. You can see the laser hovering on the chest and then working its way to the head. This is Amick looking for those headshots, looking for those full confirmed kills with the sniper rifle. Wertpu is throwing out that suppressive fire towards that window spot.
The sniper guy is in the far northwest building.
Drops back off of that south ravine. Still not really sure of where Amick was in those windows, but either way, it has put a brief pause in the momentum for this VR Reapers squad. Picking up residence in the 2-story. He could be a threat to Amick. In the meanwhile, on the north side of things, not red. Looking to be a threat to any defensive angle. Kraftomic seemingly aware of the threat of that north push. Also holding that angle, relying on his teammates to call out if he's needed elsewhere. But you can hear Dubsham telling his team to stay tucked in. Nobody needs to push out. Framed watching that inside cap potential. Kraft watching the outside. And as well, Dubsham there tucked in. Everyone playing very tight, although Kraft may find his first bit of action soon enough if not red dives in from that north position. Not red. Caught out. Kraft finds the shots. A huge denial because now it's really up to the 2 in the south and this long rotation that's coming through from the 3rd of VR Reapers, but it is Resin Mafia into a 4v3 now. A real true hush over the battlefield as these rotations come in. With a 5-minute timer, the long rotation's not necessarily an option when you're trying to adjust your strategy halfway through a round, but with that extra minute, you just have a little bit more time to switch up. You have the option to shift that strategy halfway through a round without really risking too much on the time frame. So 2 minutes left. They have not sure who it is way over there in that far south side. Looks like maybe Wirt rotating in up from the north. Park here pushing into the center with Dante. But again, this Resin Mafia defense is tucked. They are not pushing out, at least the 3 on objective. They have a 4th on Overwatch. Amick with that sniper who is looking for this shot onto the north push, and he's found it. Down goes Wirt in the window. And Amick really probably the biggest threat to the likes of this VR Reapers push. If they decide to try and come in from this back side, they're going to have to go up against the pinch of Framed and Amick in the 4v2 now. Certainly not optimal for this VR Reapers team. Amick has been a huge threat here in this building all around. And I think he's been forgotten. Which is an issue for the likes of Park if he tries to go for this push. Although, yep, if he could come in and catch Frame, there's an opportunity. Amick denies that from happening. Frame finds the confirm. And now it's all up to Dante in the 1v4. And hey, technically, he's done it before, so certainly capable of killing 4 of the team, but with 30 seconds left, it is a tall order. 15 seconds, and time actually going to be affecting VR Reapers here. Good smoke to deny Amic vision. Does get him this cross. Has the pad out, but Kraft patiently waiting. Dubsham right there next up. Would have been a tough entry, but either way, a solid hold from Resin Mafia. Patient and ultimately pays off because that timer is what wins them round number 4 and ties things up. Do have a brief tech pause here as one of the players reconnects. Hopefully that doesn't buy too much into the time, but either way, an exciting start to the first round. And actually, I'm getting word now that they are swapping out actively here one of their players, dipping into their reservist pool in the middle of a round, which is what I love to see. Something I've talked about happening for several seasons and never seen a team at the higher level do it, but VR Reapers here, one of their players not feeling it right now, and they've swapped him out for Spider Monkey, who is coming in. I think it was Wirt. Yes, it was Wirt who got subbed out for Spider. We'll see how that helps the VR Reapers squad. Again, started off good. 2-0 out the gate, but Resin Mafia with 2 unanswered points have brought it back, and downfall is certainly interesting. I do have that list of maps. I remembered where I saw it. Map pool number 1, so the first 5 weeks of this season include Suburbia, Sand, USS Quest, Bazaar, Subway, Downfall, Quarantine, and Snow Peak. So Sand and Quest, the 2 custom maps there that we're familiar with. Snow Peak, obviously, something we didn't get to see a lot of. And so I'm excited to see that incorporated into this first bit of rotation of map pool. Map pool 2, which is 5 weeks out. Don't need to worry too much about that just yet. But it's looking like it's Sand, Cargo. Not sure on the third one. Shipyard, Subway, Downfall, Quarantine, and Snow Peak. So Cargo getting dropped into the rotation there. Shipyard getting thrown in. The rest staying the same. Subway, Downfall, Quarantine, Snow Peak. Maps you're familiar with. Suburbia no longer in that rotation for the second week. So it's something I'm really excited about for this season that we just have never had in 11 seasons of Onward. 10 technically. We're into the 11th. 10 seasons of Onward. We've never seen custom maps. So thrilled to see it be an element here when we get into these map pool decisions. But we got action left on the first map of this series. Downfall is tied up 2-2 right now. Solid hold from Resin Mafia. See if they can do it again. They've got a quick spawn as we dive into round 5. They're playing this early spawn pretty aggressively, standing up, diving in full force. 1 goes down, 2 getting picked up by the likes of VR Reapers. The initial push out not working out terribly great. Amic has managed to, of course, find one with the sniper, and forces a little bit of caution out of this team. Dante is able to scoop up one as he tries to cross out from the smoke. Framed, looking for that refrag. So is Amic. Trying to find the shots into the window. Dante does peek, and down he goes. Another pickup. And he rotates over to his next target on the wall. That's 3. The sniper from Amic. Doing a ton of work for this Resin Mafia team. Ties things up 2-2. Both are resable, but that could be the downfall of Spider Monkey if he does try to get red here. And it is the 4th sniper kill from Amic. Gets locked in. Suddenly, in a flash, Park is the last alive defender, and Framed has a 1v2 opportunity in front of him, but he's got his pad out. Park rotating here to the corner. Amick has an angle, and so Park can't afford to get too aggressive. Framed just here, pad out, looking for the opportunity, and it's going to be incredibly hard for him to get with Not Red there, able to identify the approach. A risky peek. Suppressive fire goes down and keeps Amick for a brief moment tucked in. Framed getting picked up. A huge kill there from Park to shut down Frame's approach. A desperately needed kill there. Now the question becomes, where does Park go from here? How does he get to Not Red? How does he choose to defend? He's gonna rotate in. He dives into the window. The shot comes in. It tags Park in the shoulder, just missing his head.
Why the fuck is it not letting me revive you?
I think you already used it. Use one of mine.
Amick has the angle. He's looking for the shot. Another miss.
It's not working, dude. It's literally glitched.
He's bled out, and now Park wasting time here trying to get this res.
What? Dude. I would come, but I would give up objective. I'm stuck here alone. I was not able to revive strats.
I don't know what I just saw. Park's still alive. I think that's 2 headshots I've watched, to be frank.
Yeah.
Either way, Amick absolutely dominating from the corner with the sniper. I think looks like he's going to try and rotate around for a different angle. Suppressive fire there off the corner. Curious what Amick's play is here. He knows how many are left alive. He's guaranteed on that. He seems to be going for the close quarters combat as he gets up into that mid-range there. Grabs the extra clips and reloads into a Scar. The angle he was just holding. Now picked up by Park. Amick tucks in. Most likely rotating to that basement window. Or 2-story. He is going to look for Park here. Got his fresh angle, and he finds it finally. The shots confirming his opponent, and R3SIN Mafia push up 3-2. 3 unanswered points here on downfall. Amick 13-2. Absolutely dominating the playing field with his sniping, making it incredibly difficult for this VR Reapers team to get anywhere comfortably. Oof. That's a demonstration on how to snipe right there. Or at least what sniping can do for you on a squad. Certainly saving R3SIN Mafia wholeheartedly there. They had a tough start as they tried to rotate in and swing out of their spawn, instantly losing 2, then 3. Right out the gate, they were into a 2v5 and, well, 2v4 as Amick made quick work of the entire team, ultimately getting that ace. The first ace of the season, dare I say it. Maybe one happened on Radar's game, I don't know. But either way, something you don't get to see very often. One player getting all 5 kills, and Amick did it just there. Rotated out to the Scar for the closer quarters, and yeah, that's a highlight reel to take home and post about. Taking a look again at chat, seeing what everyone's thinking. Just now watching the sniper kills roll in. If you don't know, we are on a delay. It is for competitive sake that we do it so that There's no unfair advantage potentially gleaned from the opponent. So if I'm delayed on reading your chat, or if anyone's shouting out my name or something like that, I do apologize. I do only check it in between rounds from time to time, and like I said, I'm 6 minutes behind. So, or maybe in the future, I don't know how time works. It's crazy out there. We're either way into what could be match point here if Resin Mafia can hold on to round number 6. An aggressive rollout here. They're lucky that they didn't get that mirrored spawn. Otherwise, Craft and Frame could have been in bad shape. Either way, we managed to dive out and get into the middle building. VR Reapers getting that southeast treatment. A relatively quick spawn, in my opinion, and you know, just as quick as the other side. You can run right into the action. Already we are, as Park suppressing the window onto Amic's sniper positions that he can push up through the ravine. We'll have to keep an eye here on this, as Amic has been proved to be a very skilled shot.
I don't see them through the window, so I have no idea how the guy shot off of me.
And Amic just looking for anything out of this window here. Spider-Man almost exposing himself. I can't quite get the sliver of what he's looking for out that window. Let's go back to repeat there, and Park instantly IDs and puts out suppressive fire. Going to be a tough kill there for Amic to secure if he decides to go for that. And everyone here dialed in onto Amic's position, and frankly, the right thing to be doing, because he has been a huge threat to this team so far. If they can get him down early, could be a good sign for this VR Reapers offense. Not Red does find one.
Look out, Park. He's coming for you.
Really good comms there. IDing Amic's rotation. Park aware of the potential threat. And Amic really running out of options in terms of how he can hold and defend. They know the spawn, so you do see the rest of the Resin Mafia defense pretty tucked in. But the main focus here is Amic. Down he goes. Not Red finds him in the White House. That opens up the entry for this VR Reapers offense significantly. They can now crash in from this south ravine. Dante, Spider have this open option on the hilltop. They can come down here with Park, take control of the south side of the map, and then begin their push into the objective. With 1 down and only 3 up alive, it's going to be Dubsham, Vale, and Craft Amic as the final 3 holders here. Craft does find one in the basement. Not Red goes down as he rotates in through the center.
If you can meet one down.
Can't get the confirm. Ducks back into the bottom floor window to look for any more action. Is not going to spot it. And I wonder if MTB is going to rotate around here for this res. Bombs coming in from Not Red. If you aren't familiar, once you get shot in game, you can either get shot and die instantly.
He's in the staircase. He's in the staircase.
Or you can be alive, well, technically downed, where right now Not Red can radio to his team.
I cannot pin a location on him.
He can ID locations that he can see in a down state and can radio in that information. The South Ravine push starts to pay off as Dante confirms one in the bottom. Park finds the confirm onto Amic, so that res not available, and now the push comes in from VR Reapers. 2 minutes left. Vale still here in the top floor. Does take some shots up over there into that rotation from Park, but Dante's here in the bottom floor. Vale has to crash. Dante could take the round if he can punch the code in time. Spider finds Vale off of the backside, and Dante has 1:50 left to punch in this code. If Kraft stays alive and does not go down, Dante has this round. Of course, the pressure on, a lot of time ticking down. Kraft on the rotation. Dante still hasn't punched in the code. It's been so long, and he can't get it before Park has to confirm the swing from the backside of Kraft. VR Reapers tie it up. Resin Mafia are given another round. Fortunate there. Seeing the responses to that ace, pretty dang good. Love to see it, but I mean, geez, this round has been incredibly exciting to tune into. These are two teams really going at each other, and what I love to see is how close they are in skill. I mean, we're seeing a battle back of different ways to approach these objectives. You know, Resin don't rely a little bit on that sniper being effective. You saw once Amic went down, it was VR Reaper's round. I think they had 3 or 4 left alive as they were capping on the objective there. A really good job of the Resin Mafia defense, the Craftomic, to eventually rotate there, force the kill, but still I mean, geez, I think the issue there when you're looking back and you're thinking, why didn't he get the cap? You have to factor in right now how these teams are playing, which is very good. They're clearly competitive. This is the first game of the season. They're feeling it. That's going to add an additional bit of pressure, which adds an additional bit of adrenaline, which does impact your ability to play games in virtual reality. Punching in a code with your pointer finger and being exact can be a challenge when you're shaking with your hand in VR. It can be very difficult to stabilize a hand if you're nervous and memorize a 7-digit code. That's a challenge when the pressure is on. Some players can get that code in 4 seconds. Others cannot get it in 20. So certainly an interesting way to end that round, but we're not done with this first map just yet. We're going to 7. Round number 7 of map number 1. If you're just tuning in, you're missing so far a pretty exciting matchup. Some great plays have come through from both sides, and I want to see how this first map rounds out. Early shots ring down towards Spider Monkey. Kraft just missing what could have been a great kickoff for the Resin Mafia offense.
Northeast, the tower.
But they have Veil here, Overwatch. Rest of the offense rotating in. Trying to push up through the middle. The problem is MTB. He's pushed up, he's gotten aggressive, and he's exposed his early defensive position, so now they do know he's here.
Where's Center Hotel?
That's a position you really do want to get that early kill on, and geez, you can see Amic's laser just glossing over the position there of MTB. The Overwatch rotated out. Impressive fire from Dubsham, who's managed to push up, but MTB does get one.
I got one.
A tiny little angle here, Amic's trying to thread. And he gets it. What a shot. Amic has put on a clinic with the sniper in this first round on Downfall. That is so hard to do in VR.
We might have one in South Brothel.
What's the skill? I mean, 14 and 3, you know? And frankly, this is something I have been waiting for. I have been waiting for a team to work around a above average player. To sort of not have a carry, but have a player that is capable of carrying and a team that is capable of working well around them. This is a back-end sniper holding the line, looking for picks while the rest of his team forces out the rotations from the defense, and it has been working relatively well for Resin Mafia. The only issues are when that carry isn't successful. That's when VR Reapers have managed to get these wins, and it's why they've kept things close. So we'll see if Resin keep this trend up. Maybe Kraft will fall off in the next round if we shipped up into a closer quarters map. But either way, an excellent round here from Anik, and that's what you don't like to see the DC. I think hopefully it's a already dead defender that disconnected. There has been a DC. The unfortunate reality is you got to play through it. You just hate to see it when it's a 3-3. 3 minutes left in a round. I do think it was an alive player that ended up disconnecting there. Either way, VR are set up nicely around objective. They have a solid kill box, and they're going to wait for this Resin Mafia offense to push in. 2:30 left. Kraft almost has an angle there on Park, but he's not careful. Dubsham eventually going to rotate here.
Footsteps on the building.
Like he's going to try and... I was thinking about it, but this rotation is risky. Kraft could get an angle. Park is vulnerable. Spots the rotation from Vale, is able to get him suppressed behind the tree. 2 minutes left. Spider still inside objective, and they have Not Ready, who's holding that outside angle and taking shots way up onto that hilltop position.
Still there in the north.
Pomchi position drawing a lot of attention. A team kill comes in from Anik.
Out of the way.
It's not all glory for him. Inside that 3-story gets a little hectic. Shots come in there. He does find one. He's looking like he's going to go for the code. He's got to worry about Not Red, who has an angle. Spider Monkey also still held up inside the 2-story. He's pushed up from his unprone position. And Amik's here. Pad out. Shots ringing in from behind him. And in the chaos, he's thrown his pad. Dubsham up next with a minute left. Spider Monkey tucked in, not aware of the potential threat behind him. And as I say that, he does check the angle. Dubsham now able to work up here. Not Red can't find the angle, and Dubs trying to punch in the code as Not Red pretends to be the threat as he crashes in. Spider trying to call this out. Dub trying to punch it in a 1v2. The timer not the key threat there. They do get the cap. Resin Mafia takes the win. 5-3 in round one. 14-4 at the end of this round for Anik. Absolutely dominating there. A heck of a performance, and it does kick off the round map number one. Certainly in an exciting fashion. I couldn't have asked for a better way to have the first cast, first map of my first cast of the season go, and wow, so far that was quite interesting. Now the question is, where do we go from here? What map do we head to? Do we go to Snow Peak, where it does favor the longer range? Do we go to a closer quarters map, where it may get rid of the threat of Anik? And well, guess who's picking? Resin Mafia here. Actually, excuse me, it is interesting enough, VR Reaper is picking the map, and they do go Snow Peak. I would suspect that Snow Peak would have been the pick from the likes of Resin Mafia, considering how well Kraft has been sniping so far today, but excuse me, Anik. Getting those two mixed up a little bit in my mind. An interesting choice. The only reason I do see it kind of does work is that Snow Peak spawns do tend to be tight in a lot of the different objective locations. There are a few long-range spawns along a couple of long objectives, but there are also some very close quarters ones here on Snow Peak. So we'll see what the end result is. But either way, an interesting choice for the second map here from VR Reapers. Patiently waiting here for a fifth to get in. for the likes of Resin Mafia. Maybe we'll see a rotation come in here. And if not, I have been thrilled with the rounds so far. Good as time as any to sort of talk a bit about the VRML. If you're not familiar, community run league does have you know, everything about it. Community run, the mod team, the casting crew, the content creators, all of them. I actually don't think anyone that's on these teams hasn't played Onward to some level competitively. It's really one of the key things about the VRML that I love is how integrated into communities that we are with all of our leagues, and that's sort of the key staple behind the VRML. We also obviously have sponsors. You can see them just over to my what is that? Left? I don't know. You do the math. HyperX, Asterion, Rebuff, Reality, ProTube, VR Cover, Cyber Shoes, B Haptics, and then also VRware sponsoring this season as well. They do all kinds of great, they do our merch. So if you do want to get VRML merch, you can head on over to the VR Master League website. You can click on the merch link. It'll direct you to that webpage where all of our VRML merchandise is sold. So if you want to get VRML sweatshirts, water bottles, mats, it's all there. I recommend checking it out. They've been a great sponsor for Echo Arena, and I'm happy to see them entering into the Onward scene. And obviously, all of the other sponsors that have been around with us for so long, for 10 seasons, in some cases, like ProTube, which is something that I really do enjoy. You know, those stocks are a huge help, and I gotta wonder if Amic uses a stock when it does come down to sniping, because he has a incredibly steady hand. When you watch the laser, you can get an indication of if a player uses a stock or not. That's sort of the way to figure out. Even then, some players that don't use a stock have a hand as steady as a surgeon, right? They have a hand that is seemingly what seems to be a stock being used, but it isn't. So I don't know. It varies between players, but I've always enjoyed using one. And it certainly helps with the long-range sniping no matter what. So if you do want to maybe be sniping like Amic did there in Downfall, I recommend checking that out. I think we're in a... Well, we were in a tech timeout there. But I think I've bought enough time with my jabbering to get us into the start of this next round. A sub coming in from Resin Mafia. NM Asut. Tell me, chat. Tell me how I'm supposed to say this one. Namasut? Namasit? We'll call him Massit. How about that? Either way, they've subbed one in here for Resin Mafia, and we'll see if it's what they need to continue to win as we get into round number 1 of Snow Peak. Appreciate everyone tuning in and watching the matches this afternoon. Big shout out to all of you hanging out in Twitch chat. Really much appreciated. Love to see so many folks coming in here and hyped about the start of the season. I know there's a ton of new folk as well, so make sure you're spreading the love. You're sharing these matches. You're telling people they're live. Getting all these new players in here to learn a thing or two about how to play competitive Onward, because so far this has certainly been a good learning session. If you're paying attention, you got to be aware that Downfall is a very dangerous sniper element there. Amic holding a corner angle, and interestingly enough, not running a sniper here on Snow Peak. And this is because, like I said, some of these objectives are close quarters. This objective is a close quarters objective. It caters to the tight corners and rotations, even though, as I say that, not red rotating around the long end. Dante and the rest of the squad, well, actually, they're in a 2-2-1 split, it seems. Spider here pushing in towards Kraft's position. Then you also have a pinch coming in here. Park. Danger close to objective with MTB. They've managed to push up here. Dub, Sham, and NM holding the tight angle. NM finds the kill. Does get tagged. Has to heal. Craft gets one. Spider hears those shots. He's looking for the refrag.
Sorry. I thought that was...
Almost a team kill. Dubsham nearly takes out Amick as he rotates in from his outside of position.
You have eyes on OBG?
Fighter should be aware of Craft's position now. 3v5 for the likes of VR Reapers, so not an ideal position, but certainly workable.
Scratch 2, then I got one before that.
There's the team kill we were waiting for. Dubsham finally takes out Amick over there and tosses a nade. That bad nade could have killed Masset, so fortunate enough for Dubsham. Spider Monkey pushes in, catches Craft. Missing all the kills here. Park gonna try his luck. Tosses a flash out. That's a good flash. Dubsham completely blinds, as is NM. And he can gain information here. Well-coordinated pinch could do wonders. It could really throw off Fail. Open up an opportunity for Park to push in. There's the shots from the backside. Not red. Picks up one. Masset.
-1 in the tunnel.
Aware of this. Peeks up and over. He finds the refrag. Really nice peek up and over. Catch the one out. Spider Monkey going on a longer rotation here. Park also dipping off. Seemingly on a bit of a wide rotation. It looks like he's watching his flank, but see what ends up happening there. Spider's going to toss a smoke, trying to deny vision from Masset. Oh, and that's a good flash onto Vale. Vale completely blind. Spider trying to work up into the smoke. He's prone. Does Vale not see him? Oh my goodness, nearly punches in the code as Vale pushes up and IDs him, almost camouflaged into the floor there. An excellent attempt, but ultimately not enough as Park, the final attacker here. Be running right into Vale. Does spot him out. Vale seemingly unaware, not listening to the audio cues, the footsteps charging towards him. And Park instantly rotates away from that shot angle, back to this position, throwing off Masset. Question is when he peeks here, will he spot him? Masset is very blended into this dark corner here up against this box. And as he turns, Park finally finds him. VR Reapers come back from a 3v5 disadvantage and take their offensive round. A solid job there to bounce back. A fortunate team kill from Resin Mafia to aid them. Ultimately, the best way you could come into a map 2 after losing 5-3. We're gonna look at everyone's thoughts on the Snow Peak map pick. A lot of folks sharing my feelings that it should favor Resin Mafia, but hey, like I pointed out, this map has a lot of tight OBJs, and the first one is a tight one, and so Craft's not able to excel with that sniper like he was on Downfall, at least for the first round. Well, first 2 rounds. They now are going to have to go and attack this close quarters angle as well. So maybe a weakness getting exposed by VR Reapers. We'll see. We get into round number 2 of map 2.
Drum, take drum, take drum, take drum, drum,
I don't need any.
take drum.
Alright, hey. Craft B, I want y'all moving slow. Meek, Soot, I want y'all moving fast.
Troop on me.
Let's
Good
do
bit of info
it.
gleamed there from Dubsham. The plan is that these 3 push fast on the long rotation. And the close quarters push from the likes of Kraft is slow, but that doesn't work out very well from them. Spider Monkey out the gate, scooping up an early kill. Vale with a great refrag.
Which one?
Question is he going to be ready for this push-up? Lasered into the corner.
East-hand side. Going through the corridors to your storage room.
And that could be a misdirect there. Because MTB is pushed up so close, could throw off Vale thinking that he's a bit farther back where Park's comms came in from. This is where the action is for now. The rest of the team rotating a bit long if you look at the overhead. Dubsham is coming inside shortly, but the other 2 trying to push all the way around to that north side. Vale's playing this one real patiently, blending into the box. A great angle. Gets himself a second kill and opens up an entry. Meanwhile, Hammock and Massett working themselves up to the north. Dubsham pushing into objective, swings and finds one off of the smoke. The rest of the defense crashing in, and it's just a touch bit mistimed. Vale here could find a potential angle up from the top corner. But the smoke denying vision. Dubsham tries to challenge Dante on the other end of the smoke and can't get it. Dante does get tagged by Vale, has to heal. Spots Vale up on the back end off of a reload and scoops him up. Just like that, we're into a 1v2 under the chaos. The back north rotation just 30 seconds maybe from being perfectly timed, and Dante has an opportunity to defend. Spots out the peak, takes the shots. Amick
Snoochie Boochie, Snoochie Boochie.
can't snipe, but he can still get those kills. Gets the final winning kill. R3SIN Mafia with a quick bounce back. I think that was a 2-minute round, something like that. Managed to scoop up a tie game here for map number 2. They want to take the series. They're a map away. They managed to win this one. They managed to come out on top for their first game of season 11. You can't ask for a better way to start your season, so certainly something that they're targeting to do. But the same side, VR Reapers do not want to start their season off with a loss. Granted, if they keep things close and they do lose, it doesn't hurt too much. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm not sure what the game plan is for the rest of this series, and what like I said, I do think it's going to come largely down to where the objective ends up each round. We had a close quarters objective here that works well inside the confines of the mountain, but now we do spring out into the northwest, the hangar, which does have opportunities for Kraft to find some sniper angles and be a dangerous long-range threat. So curious to see what kind of attack and what kind of offense we see out of both these squads.
Snoochie, don't you run away from my snoochies, me.
Snoochie Boochie.
Don't deprive that man of his snoochies. 46442. Let's do.
R3SIN Mafia feeling lighthearted here, even though it is a league match and they are playing to win. It is important to still enjoy your time in the games, and giving out some kisses before the start of the round to his teammates there. Dubsham and Kraft getting aggressive early. Some common starting defensive positions. Oftentimes the rotation comes in from these spots to get a little bit closer back towards the objective, but for now they can afford to be pushed up and look for the early spawn. This is the Volk team looking for information at the start of every round. What they're trying to do, assess where the enemy team could have spawned and then use that knowledge to their advantage. Once you know where an opponent spawns, you can capitalize off that, and Dubsham's early offensive, well, defensive position nets him an early kill.
He's not the one that was in it.
Across the mountain, Spider Monkey and Park considering their options. A tough push if they do decide to challenge, and doesn't look like that's going to be the option for this duo. If we look at the overhead, got a 2-2 split here. Was a 3-2. I think this is the right move if they do want to challenge effectively this defense one at a time.
We got our 6.
Comms a huge element in the VR Master League, and good comms coming in there to identify who's holding what. Question is, are they doing it successfully? Kraft comes in from the tunnel and gets the 6 holder, gets the one defending the backside. Park trying to rotate now. Is aware of Kraft's position, does spot him on the rotation, and Kraft just able to snap and find the shot before he himself goes down. Solid bit of play from both players there. Amick, well, there's the sniper coming into effect, denying the other duo from entering in from that west side. And in 2 minutes time, R3SIN Mafia have chipped down the offense to just one attacker, not red.
Shooting just from north of generator near that watchtower area. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. No one's...
See what Red's game plan is, especially since they seem to know his position. Game plan's gonna be to die as Amick finds the SV98 sniper shot. He's not in double digits just yet, but the whole team of R3SIN Mafia doing well to get some kills, spread it across the board there. Curious to see how the next round shakes out as they go on the defense, but either way, certainly playing well here in this second round as they do have that momentum in their favor. The downfall win with a cap, certainly a good way to win a 3-3 round. But geez, I mean, if things keep going how they did in downfall, we're probably going to come to a 3-3 here on Snow Peak because both of these teams seem to be so well matched. Certainly enjoyable to see so far. A really great back and forth, and I'm curious to see how this shakes out. I want to know if we get to that final map, what map we go to, what R3SIN Mafia end up choosing. It's a lot of question marks, so to speak. Taking a look at chat, I'm a little bit too quiet. I can certainly turn that up if that is the general consensus. Or I can turn the action down. Either way, I don't want my voice to be drowned out. Feedback always appreciated from those in chat. You know, as we do updates and things change, Windows updates happen, a lot of these technical things that are normally working can change. So if something is not how it normally is, it's always good for me to know. I can try and tweak that on the fly just a bit, see if that's any better. Might just be a little bit more blown out, but I guess I'll know 6 minutes from now as we hop into the action. Round number, oh gosh, I lost track, 4 Quick math. Dante going for an incredibly aggressive defensive positioning here early. Could net them some serious kills. And out the gate, Dubsham just able to avoid those shots. The tree coming into play there, getting him the cover he needs, and he finds the kill.
Scratch one bunker.
When you have those opportunities, you got to hit the shots or those refrags will come in. Dubsham doing a great job to get that kill back. Not red.
I'm able for revive as long as you're careful.
Going down to the sniper shots of Amick. Dubsham throwing down suppressive fire. Obviously not towards anyone in particular, but if anything, a noise distraction and drawing attention. Fail. Mass it. Pushed up. Got that kill that opened up the entry for him. Amick still on the backside looking for sniper kills. Park does get the res. Thought it was a team kill for a second. Amick certainly looking for that res opportunity. MTB pushing out here. Amick spots him. Has to get the quick sniper shot. Does tag him once in the side, but he has lasers on him again. There's the second shot. A nice quick reload. MTB does go down. Suppressive fire from Dub. Certainly drawing some attention. Question is what are they going to do off this Veil? And Massid also throwing out some suppression. Looking at where Massid's aiming that gun, I don't know how effective that could possibly be.
Go one-handed. I can just get callouts.
Pistol shots, certainly a suppressive element, but if you're smart and you know a pistol's coming, shots are coming in, and those are incredibly hard to hit at long range. They're ineffective, don't do a ton of damage.
Scratch one behind hanger. Scratch.
Did force out the rotation, though, and Dubsham with the LMG still has his powerful bullets available. Finds one, looks for the second, can't quite get that.
I'm out of ammo, dude. I'm out of ammo. He's right there behind objective.
And all that blind firing has bit them in the butt just a touch. Into a 2v5, of course, so an opportunity still very much for Resin Mafia to get this dub, but Spider Monkey's tucked in. He's got his LMG. Or his AK, excuse me. He's waiting. Kraft finds Park on objective. This could be a cap opportunity. Kraft's got Pat out. They're holding the one defender left alive as long as they don't take the kill. It's Resin Mafia getting the dub, and miscommunication. Veil pushes up when he doesn't need to, gets the kill, and what could have been series win instead takes us to another round. VR Reapers gifted another chance, just as they gifted Resin Mafia an opportunity to come back and stay in that downfall game. So we'll see if VR Reapers can capitalize and manage to run this one back. It's certainly doable. Like we said, we saw it happen with Resin Mafia on downfall, so not counting either of these teams out just yet, but danger close to being done with the series. We still play out the third map because in total the rounds won does matter. It determines how much or how little MMR you gain or lose on a win or loss. So right now VR Reapers do still want to even keep this close. If they can get another point here, it's going to be great even if they lose this round, so or lose this map. So I don't know. We'll see if they can bounce back, go on the offensive, get themselves a W. We may be seeing another sub come in here. We do have a drop from the likes of VR Reapers, and if you're gonna do it, now is the time because the series is on the line. We'll see if it's effective and it works out for them or not. See if my bump in audio helped at all. I don't know if it did anything, but certainly tried. I can talk louder, but a brief respite in the action here again as we do wait for this reconnect. I'll see if I have any info being fed my way. Yes, it is indeed as I suspected. VR Reapers throwing in a sub. I love to see it, you know. What's interesting is how it hasn't worked for them. If I remember correctly, they threw in that sub when it was 2-2 on downfall, and that ended up, or 2-0. No. When did they bring the sub in? I think they brought it in 2-2. They ended up losing that series, albeit kept it close. Now they bring in Wirt back for the what could be match point for R3SIN Mafia. We'll see if Wirt is the key element for this Reapers team. A fresh perspective, a fresh mind being brought in is I think it does a lot to the team around. So curious to see if VR Reapers are going to be able to take on R3SIN Mafia in round number 5.
It's gonna be messed up later, but we'll be fine. Come on, we gotta start a moving.
I thought you were bald, Tom.
No, nah, it's not.
You are bald.
I'm not that. I'm not a baby.
We're taking the inside route. This objective, a close quarters one. Plain and simple. It takes a little bit for setup. Teams can go different routes. There can be some early catches. But the objective is inside a relatively large square building. So the common defensive strategy is to hold around this building, hold the entry points the choke points that you have given to you, and defend accordingly. Grafdomic's gotten a little bit pushed out, and he's looking for that long rotation. That has not come. Park is instead danger close. Oh, and he can't hit the shots.
Spire, I'll be going your route now.
Not sure how Park got that one, but quick snap reflexes lock in a kill.
It's my back. My back.
Upsham finds one for himself, so things tied up, and this is the hold. We're going to wait until the offense pushes into this building because all 4 of R3SIN Mafia are tucked in here, and they all have different angles. Angles I don't think I've ever really seen held for these specific doors. Masset, Vale, Dub. I love the crosses that they have going on here.
We're good. West door.
Question is will it work? Good utility use goes a long way in tight quarters, so if VR Reapers can get up and get some nades, some smokes, some flashes into this building,
North door.
could become a challenge.
I just heard them. They were running by.
I looked the north. I looked.
Dante's got to be careful about peeking in here. Not going to find anything
They might.
until he actually challenges Dub, who's in this corner. Vale's tight.
North and the west.
Masset's tucked tight. No opportunities for them to get scooped up by any other angles. It's like I said, a well thought out defensive position. Dante goes down as soon as he peeks around the window. As soon as he peeks around that door.
Scratch. 2.
Now
I
it's
looked
good.
the north.
Now comes down to the 3 entering in from the north.
Okay, you guys just
Spider,
continue to
Park, and
right
Wirt.
now. Hurry through tunnels. We're about to approach here.
Mark, you said there's C4 on that door?
East north.
all working up. Wert's trying to find some angles, but again, won't find anything until he pushes in through the door.
I'm not. Park.
We know you're there. Come on.
No one's here. Go back to sleep.
If you're not familiar, again, comms are open in this game, so you have a radio to communicate with your team from long distances, but otherwise, comms can be heard if you're close enough. And so, a little bit of friendly banter back and forth as Wirt gets real close to this defense. Drawing their attention, really. Park may find himself
Busting in right now, through the tunnels.
with an entry point. The call from Park to come in. Nobody in tunnels, so nobody can come in through tunnels. Couple of flashes coming in. Don't find purchase. Vale finds one entering in. Park tries to follow suit. He gets picked up by Massett. And now Wirt, the sub, trying to go into the 1v4. Has a minute left. And I mean, I love it. This is a disciplined defense from R3SIN Mafia, keeping it very tight. They're not rotating. They're not shifting out of their defensive positions. They've gotten the kills. They're communicating that. And as I say that, Dubsham does rotate out, does risk corner peeking, and finds the kill on the Word. He's had enough of holding the angles, and R3SIN Mafia lock in round 2, 4-1. A much different looking team there in this Snow Peak map than they were on Downfall. A solid job from them to secure that map win and the series. Still though, curious to see what we get for that third and final map of the day and how it ends up getting played. What we see from VR Reapers when it's tough to win. Oftentimes we do see the team that's won the series let go of the third map, so an opportunity very well could be presented by for VR Reapers. We'll just have to see where we end up going for the final map. As a reminder, Sand banned, so USS Quest, the only custom map that's available in this map pool in this game. We do still have Suburbia, Bazaar, and I think just Suburbia and Bazaar, maybe Subway. Need to double check. Suburbia, Bazaar, and Subway. Yep, those are the last three that can be played in this map. So, excuse me, Suburbia, Subway, Bazaar, and USS Quest. Still options for where we could be headed for our third and final round. And if you know that music, you know where we're headed. Bazaar, map number 3, chosen by the likes of R3SIN Mafia, and interestingly enough, considering how well Kraft again played on those keep getting it mixed up. I got them mixed up. Keep getting them mixed up. Now I can't even think of it. Kraft and Amic, jeez. It's because there's K's. There's not even a K in Kraft's name. I have no excuse. Either way, a good display of sniping from Amic, and not so much on Snow Peak and not so much on Bazaar, I would expect. If you're Lonely Viper, of course, yeah, you'd have something to say about that. That guy's not afraid to use A 12 times in any map. So maybe we'll see Amic breaking out the sniper rifle. I certainly would be surprised, but either way, a solid series coming out of both teams, really. R3SIN Mafia certainly doing a fantastic job of bouncing back on Downfall, but this really could have been the map decider if VR Reapers had managed to push through and come away with that first map. They brought it down to a 3-3 and just couldn't end up locking it in. And sometimes that's the hardest part, is getting those final few points in a round to get the dub. But either way, a third map gets played, like I mentioned. It's just how we do things here at the league. And frankly, I think it's good because you get more onward action into your veins. And right now, I think we all need a little bit of onward action. So don't blame anyone for wanting to stick around and catch this final map. I certainly want to stick around and catch it. I'm curious to see how it unfolds. Take a quick look at you folks over in chat, see how you're doing. That setup, yeah, certainly a strong one inside. Box is also not penetrable. I see that being discussed. I see Trip, a fellow caster, hanging out in chat, amongst some others. Theta as well. Noman. We don't really care about him. Appreciate everyone that is hanging out. Like I've been saying, hit that follow button if you're new here. Share it to all your friends. Get your teammates if they're new to follow the stream, so that they're watching streams and learning. I mean, hey, I almost guarantee you'll learn something new every time you watch a match. You'll find some sort of a unique spot or something that you like that another player did that you can work off of. So always an opportunity to learn when you tune in to a VRML match and see how R3SIN Mafia approach the final map of the series as they go on the offense on Bazaar. And I think we do have some subs. This is what I like to see. R3SIN Mafia bringing in some alternates off of that win once they've locked it in. Amick on that cross catches out 2 right away. Parkwim trying to drop back. He goes down to Craftomic, finding shots through the wood. VR Reaper is getting picked up and picked apart.
3 now.
One of the new objectives. And geez, look at this, the chaos around the OBJ. Dante with a very back position, and he's really just covering the objective. Does leave opportunity for a cap to get punched in. Potentially, I think it would be pretty tough though. Yeah, he could do it on the corner. See what they end up going with. Amick, as soon as I was about to go over there, Spider Monkey finds him. His patient defensive positioning behind the wall nets him a kill, and this could also bite them in the back because look at this. This R3SIN Mafia offense, well, just Craftomic, I should say, is dangerously close to the objective. He very well could cap on that corner. Pads out. I don't think Dante has the coverage. Craft is safe to enter in this code. He's got all the time in the world, and there it is. Dante just missing it by a slice, and frankly, Spider Monkey potentially also could have caught that himself, but either way, R3SIN Mafia come into this final map, and they say, we want to win this one quick. Out the gate, get themselves a early cap. On top of a triple kill, I think, or a double coming in there right away from Amick. Love to see some new folks creating teams. But yeah, there's I like this. I like the map pool decision. I think if you're talking about meta changes, you know, Smoke's obviously lovely to see back in. C4's not being utilized at all in this series so far, but those are also an option that's back in. The Volk drone is banned. That is an option that is out, and the shield is banned. And frankly, I think the mod team has just done a fantastic job of balancing out the issues and making this game still feel competitive, even when there are some things that can be a bit wonky with some of the mechanics, with some of these items. They're so good at identifying issues and correcting them around the rules. I feel like this is going to be a really fun season to tune into. I can't wait to see how smokes get reintegrated into strats. Already, we're seeing those strats reminiscent of smoking out I mean, we haven't seen it yet, but you know, the heavy smoke on objectives, the caps under smokes. It's all going to be back in Season 11, and I can't wait. Kraft tries to catch the rotation into the south, but can't get it. Ratman may be running into some action soon, as will Amick. Rotating up here along the north, he could end up catching out a swing from MTB if it comes in. We're going to have to keep our attention split between him and the duo pushing in from the middle and the duo pushing in from the south. A 2-2-1 split coming in here. Oh, and that doesn't work well for them so far. Amick finds one. Dove Shaman picking up another. He's gotten himself into a crazy forward position, getting super aggressive on this push-up. Dante has an idea that he's here, but can't get those shots. Swing out, and a good swing at that. Catches Dub unaware, finds the kill, opens up the entry for him into the south. In the meanwhile, Ratman right here with Wirt just around the corner.
Got one over here, or by Blue Room.
Wirt knows right where he is, too. Here's those comms. Doesn't find the shots onto him as he peeks to Spider. This is just going to come down to who can get around the corner the fastest. Oh, actually, this could get real interesting. The smoke, and he drops out. Dodges the corner. He's looking to relocate himself. Looks for the shots onto Spider. Spider's still holding. Is able to get that refrag. Amick coming in from this north side looking for the flank. Could potentially catch Wirt. Be aware that someone could be on the corner. Scoops up Spider. Wirt maybe next on his list, but maybe Kraft actually. Yeah, I'm not sure what angle Wirt's gonna take here, and if he can time it up with Dante, because maybe they can open up the objective. Amick gets scooped up. We're into a 2v2. Mercer not aware of the threat behind him, and frankly doesn't need to be, because he's dead. Kraft certainly not aware of Dante and his potential to rotate here. He gets picked up. A nice attack from VR Reapers, finding really good angles onto this defense and ultimately snagging around. You don't want to let things run away from you in this final map, and certainly a good job from them to keep it tight. Don't want to be going into a 3-0. At the same time, they gotta watch out for the cap opportunity here, because I'm sure Resin Mafia are thinking cap on this next objective, which is one of the other new objectives. From new objective to new. I say new because these are objectives that have been added since Season 10. May have been around for a while if you're... not a while, but they've been around for a little bit. If you play consistently, and could be adapted to them, so to speak, but I imagine we'll see a lot of new defensive positions with some of these new objectives, which, you know, again, on top of having custom maps, I love to see that even in the maps that we have been playing for 10 seasons, that there is some variety getting introduced. Again, popping over to chat, seeing how everyone's doing. Fireman. Appreciate you all hanging out. Take a look at the KDs. 420 from Amick. It's a day late and $1 short on that kill feed, but still certainly carrying his team, so to speak, in kills in this last map. Cashing out strategy. If you're not familiar, there's a 1.5-minute timer between rounds. There's a map on a whiteboard in a tent that you can be in, and so you know these players can actively draw up strategies in VR on a map and coordinate with their team in that 1.5 minutes to make sure that they all know where they're going, how they're going to attack, how they're going to defend, and it's a little bit of planning time. So we'll see if that 1.5 minutes goes to good use as R3SIN Mafia pass around some drum mags and prepare for the attack.
Where you at?
Oh, hey, we're going this way. Remember, I want 2 split up, 3 down here. Let's go. Take far now.
Craft with some early suppressive fire, giving away their spawn location. So, information for VR Reapers to work with, and you can see that it does prompt suppressive fire down this lane towards both Dubsham and Mercer, but Dubsham finds Park. The VR Reapers defense has to play tight. They cannot afford a cap opportunity to be opened up here. Dante charging forward, does get the back of one. Dubsham, in the meanwhile, has pushed up in from the south. He's getting aggressive on objective, a bit ahead of his team. One of those things that is tough to sync up with, and really you see the top teams do it so incredibly well, but just being on time with the rest of your team, timing and syncing the pushes up, because right now Dub's going into a 1v3.
No, I'm still alive. I'm like on the objective. Scratch 3.
Dub's looking for the ace himself. Oh no, he's only gotten 2, not 3. But does know that 3 are down. Looking for Spider Monkey on the corner, can't get him. Spider playing tucked in, finds that kill. MTB looking for the confirm. Craftomic just on the verge of entering in. A good smoke right onto objective. Checked his tablet to make sure he knew what the objective was. Spider flashes out and over and decides to rotate. Gets team killed by MTB in what looked to be just dead fire. I don't even think MTB was trying to kill him there. This is an opportunity though. Can MTB see through the smoke? He can't. Craft could cap. He's going to go for another nade up and over. That doesn't go far enough, but it does confirm Spider. And there it is. Craft finding that kill. Hunts him down, and R3SIN Mafia with another 3-1 lead, looking to lock in map 3. I do. Just thinking back, we did see a P90. Not something you see too often at the higher ranks, but certainly an interesting choice. I think the G36 tends to dominate the support field there. The Val's certainly been something that we've seen gain some semblance of popularity as well. I have seen that played at the high level. Your AK-5C for Marsoc, the standard for riflemen, and your MK-18 on specialist. A common pick there. There also is the AUG. I think that's a rifleman though, not specialist. Either way, a few options that are pretty common and some that we are seeing that don't usually get chosen. Even the SV98, yeah, I don't feel like I see a lot of snipers opt for a bolt action. They tend to go for a semi-automatic. Still, though, a solid bit of killing from that bolt action from Kraft. Certainly not hindered by it, and I think we saw a P90 kill come in too. So any gun can find a kill. It's all it comes down. It's a matter of the player, okay? It's only so true. We'll see if VR Reapers can get a few more on the board here.
Do it. I will end his life.
Alright, let's go.
I will end
his
your
life.
life.
Come on, slap him.
I will end your life. I will eat your
You have to
ankles.
save yourself.
There's such trees.
Into a could-be match point here. Bit of a slow rollout from the likes of this defense, and these final maps are the hardest to play, especially when the series has been decided. To Resin Mafia's point, they are playing it very tight. Their comms on point, not necessarily getting too loose. They are using substitutes that we haven't seen played in the rest of the series, but certainly still locked in. MTB trying to get an interesting bit of kill here through the crack in the wall. Ooh, a little bit of reciprocating fire towards MTB. Does catch him out in the limbs, but he's fine.
No, you won. No, you won. Oh, hey, hey. Hey, don't.
Kraft getting aggressive, trying to end this round with a bang. And he is now behind this offense. MTB just in front of him. Doesn't see him over there in the darkness, though. MTB is going to survive for a bit longer. Dubsham taking some shots.
Yeah, let's play rock, paper, scissors. Let's go.
Kraft pushing in, finds one spider, able to get the refrag. VR Reapers down to just 3. Wirt, Park, and Spider Monkey. But they are up against just 3, so the 3v3 opportunity is certainly present. I like the rotation. I think it's going to pay off when they come in from this side. Question is, will Rad and Mercer be ready for that rotation to come through?
We're Charlie, gentlemen, and I don't know what the scratch count is. If anybody else does.
Spider Monkey working his way up ever so slowly towards Mercer. The same goes for that back couple. Finds one. Now Rat's a little bit concerned. Here's those shots as well from behind him. Has to have his head on a bit of a swivel. Also hears the comms there, so very aware of the threat. I think he killed that guy one-handed. I think he was going down for like a reload or something. Either way, a solid kill.
Yeah, he's done.
Kind of pauses Park for a brief moment.
You won't let me get you.
Park trying to act off. It does.
-1.
Push up. Dubsham has eyes onto the window. He can't find those shots. 2 minutes left, and VR Reaper is looking to hang on here, trying to snag this round and push it up to a 3-2. Spider Monkey actually has Pat out. He may be thinking about a cap. Dubsham, though, is holding on. You're in a 1v1. Is the cap something you can afford to do? 22 now. That clock is ticking down. Sham making sure no one's capping. You really need a smoke coverage here to even get up close enough to objective to cap it, so as long as that doesn't come in and Sham stays tucked in, he should be able to defend this. Problem is when he gets antsy and decides to push too far out, that's when monkeys may have an opportunity. Is there any utility left? I don't think there is for Spider. Oh, there is. A flash, a double flash, comes up and over. Spider's going for the quick cap. Sham's tucked into the corner, hasn't pushed out yet, and he gets it! A double flash! Up and over, and Spider pushes up and caps it. Dubsham doesn't even know where Spider is by the time he ducks down. What? Wow. This round ain't done delivering just yet, that's for sure. A wild double flash cap. Seen it happen before. Have seen it happen before. Have seen caps come through under a flash, because that flash does last, I think, 4 or 5 seconds until it starts to fade away. So a lot of time to punch in a code, and man, Dubsham, I think, just stayed in a bit too long, tucked in. But VR Reapers tie this up 3-3 on map 3. They really need to take this map because it's going to help a lot in terms of lessening the damage that the loss will have on their rating. You know, especially now when you're at a TBD state and these first 3 games determine where you get seeded. You don't want to have huge losses. So to keep things close is important for Reapers here, and to get this thing to a 3-3 is huge. Now they go on the defensive, switch to an objective that's been around forever on this map, and maybe they can defend. See some players that are actively playing hanging out in chat. Appreciate you all watching. Why we have the delay. But man, what a great first game for me to come back to for season 11, getting me real hyped. I'm sure all the casters shadowing today are pretty hyped as well. I know you're going to be seeing a lot of games come in from them in the coming weeks, so keep an eye out for the new casters that we have brought into the casting team, getting their beaks wet, so to speak, and casting matches. It'll be exciting to have some new faces there, and obviously some old faces will be coming back. Trip, Noman, people at UR, Theta, Mono, Anonymous casting a game with me on Friday, so you'll see some familiar faces for sure as well, and it all comes together to contribute to what is going to be a good amount of Onward games getting broadcast to you at any given point. So if you are interested in becoming a caster, you can always send in an application. We don't typically recruit during the season, but I do think that we will be making exceptions in season 11. So I would recommend, if you do feel that urge, to continue to submit as we go through each sort of recruitment cycle. But you may not be here for that. You might be here for the action. You might be here for round number 6 of this third map, and Resin Mafia getting a long spawn, so to speak. They don't get the quick, faster spawn that they could have gotten, the 1 of 2, for this objective, and so they are going to have to take a bit of time to get to where they want to get to. Kraft getting aggressive here early. Trying to lock in. At least an early kill. Dante pushes out, looking like he was going to throw a nade. He did get it off, but Kraft, ready and waiting, finds the kill. Now continues to rotate. Massett scoops up the one in the north. VR Reapers down to 3. And Kraft well ahead of his team here. Nearly ready to challenge objective defenders, but we'll see if he slows his pace and syncs up with the rest of his squad. Something we haven't necessarily been seeing happen a lot with both teams. They've been just a touch out of sync when it comes down to their offensive pushes, but we've still seen some great ones. Spider Monkey is exposed there, but Kraft doesn't spot him on that peak. Actually, oh, lucky he didn't get team killed there. And now there are 2. Over in the east side, taking their time again. Fortunate he doesn't get team killed on the cross. Almost team kills himself. Takes some shots down there towards Massett. This push certainly coming in soon. This is nicely timed. They are making sure everyone's in position before they go in. Kraft, Dub, Mercer already. There's a smoke coming out. Think a nade to follow it up, or another smoke. Gonna blind out this hallway from MTB. Not gonna stop bullets though. MTB finds one, swings to find Dub, gets the double. Shuts down the entry from Resin Mafia. More shots through the smoke, find more kills. Massett, the lone survivor of this offensive attempt. VR Reapers 1 kill away from locking in a map here. They don't want to go empty-handed, so they are certainly hunting. Great defense there to put rounds through that smoke, prevent any setup. And now MTB getting aggressive just at the right time. Just misses Massett rotating, but might find him through the window. Oh, and he's going for a knife. Knife's the final kill in the round. VR Reapers do take away a map. And it is the last one on Bazaar. A solid series to kick off Season 11, that's for sure, and I'm glad I tuned into it. I'm glad you all tuned into it as well. A shout out to everyone that has been stopping by. Please hit that follow button. If you are new and if you have a subscription, feel free to drop that here. The support goes back to us casters on the desk. It's a team. If you're not aware, you'll be seeing lots of casts come in on this channel from a bunch of different casters, so be sure to be tuning in here pretty regularly. Also, a shout out to all of our sponsors. You've been seeing them represented just over on the other side of me here throughout the whole of the day. It is HyperX, Asterion, Rebuff Reality, Fixed Gaming, VR Cover, Cyber Shoes, B Haptics, and VR Wear coming together to sponsor this season of Echo Arena. Wow, I said it. I almost didn't. I almost went 2.5 hours of not talking about Echo Arena. Of Onward. On the sign off. That's going to be it from me. My name has been NightFiree with 2 E's. Thank you all for hanging out. Really do appreciate you. We'll see you Friday. Maybe sooner, but Friday with another game. So be sure to check into the website and tune in then.